husband told me that he doesn't love his stepson and that most of the time he doesn't even like him. And what do you know? Now we're getting divorced. This is a conversation that we had on December 1st, our 10-year anniversary, when he told me that he really doesn't like my son and that he resents him for the fact that I put him first and that my son is priority to me above anything else. And you know what? That's okay, because that's never going to change. So on December 1st, when we had that conversation, that's when I knew I was done. Okay, that's when I knew I was finished. I'm like, I'm so gone. Like, you don't love this child that you have raised kind of for 10 years, this kid that you've seen grow up, this kid that is a direct reflection of me, because I have poured everything in my life into raising him properly. You're going to tell me that you don't love him and that you want me to put you, a 33-year-old man, first over raising an 11-year-old boy? Absolutely not. So on our 10-year anniversary, I told him, I said, yeah, I'm done. You need help. You need to go to therapy. My son is not my soon-to-be ex-husband's child. Now, if he were his child, that would be a different story. I would choose to put my husband first because it's a direct reflection of how a man and a wife should be, and it should be a good example.
You shouldn't have married him. And I might catch a lot of heat for this, but it's not because he's the problem. Just think about it, because what you said was that if he was your son's biological father, that you would be putting him first. But that's not the case. He's not his biological father. And even though he was there from almost the start, your son was 1 year old. That man lived 10 years in that household as a guest. He was never accepted as father or as husband. He was continuously reminded in all of the little things and all of the big things that you would choose your son over him in every single case. And not only would you silently just do what you thought what was best, you would throw it in his face, just like you are here, because your husband opened up, he was vulnerable, and he said that he had resentment towards a child. Like, he knows that's not right, but something caused it. And I would argue that it's not anything wrong within him. I would argue it is because of the dynamic of the relationship that you are a part of. And that's something that you need to be part of to fix, but you are obviously not, because you are blaming him and you are setting it up for him to fix his issue. Am I right, guys? Like, this is a very valid fear and valid reasoning as to why a man is not going to want to date a single mom.
So my husband told me that he doesn't love his stepson and that most of the time he doesn't even like him. And what do you know? Now we're getting divorced.
Okay, when I first saw this video, I was like, wow, valid divorce. If you don't love or even like a parent's child, yeah, you probably shouldn't be together. So she has me in the first half, right? She starts getting into how he's saying that he's always resented her son because she always puts her son before him, even though they've been married for 10 years and he's been involved since the child was 1. But then she says this.
But my son is not my soon-to-be ex-husband's child. Now, if he were his child, that would be a different story.
I'm sorry, what? Because now I have to do a 180, because why would the dynamics be different if he was the biological father? First of all, I feel like that's insulting to adoptive parents. But second, yeah, I'm starting to see where his resentment is coming from, because you're essentially telling him that you would respect him more if he was your ex. Like, as a stepmom, I could not imagine going up to my husband and saying, hey, I'm starting to feel a little neglected, like I'm always second fiddle to your son. And him saying, well, I would invest more in you if you were his real mom. Like, that would be such a slap in the face, but it actually gets worse when she tries to explain herself.
Let's clarify something, because I did say in one of my previous videos that if my soon-to-be ex-husband was the father of my child, it would be different. And two parents, who are the parents of the children of the family, work together in unity as a family unit. You have mother and father running the household and all of the children underneath. Now, I believe it sets an example of authority, respect, love, and care when a mother and a father work together in unity. They are above head of household and the children are everywhere below. But that is not the case. My baby daddy and I are not together. He brought another woman into my son's life, and I chose to bring another man into my son's life. My ex brought another woman into the relationship, and so now the son becomes the priority over that other person.
And there it is. It sounds like she just wanted to be with her ex, is mad that he chose another woman over her, and has spent the last 10 years punishing her soon-to-be ex-husband for it. I'm wondering if she ever liked her husband, or if he was always just a means to an end, like one of those race to the altar type things. And like I said, I was on her side at first, but then she kept making video after video about how she will never regret putting her son first because her husband is a grown-ass man and his happiness isn't her responsibility. And some of that is true, but husbands aren't asking you to mother them, they're just asking you to care. Of course your child needs you, but the whole idea of marriage is that once your child is grown and independent and doesn't need you anymore, that you and your husband will still be there for each other to take care of each other, and it feels like throughout this whole marriage, preparing for that was never a priority for you. Unless he was your ex, I guess. There are plenty of us who work full-time, have hobbies, are hands-on mothers, and still care about our husbands. But because you can't or don't want to do this, I think this divorce is a brilliant idea for both of you. But let's be honest, this divorce is not all his fault. Anyway, I wish you all of the happiness and success for both of you moving forward.
Man, she took this down, so I put some reaction videos in there. So you had this Becky saying that she divorcing her husband after 10 years because he doesn't like her 11-year-old stepson. So if they've been married for 10, they fairly got married early because he briefly came into that child's life at 11 years old. Shout out to Average Man Unplugged. I see the video on his channel. Still link in the description. Join the Patreon. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you feel like it. It don't surprise me none. This ain't nothing new. Some parents don't even like their own kids. Let's keep it a thou while. Some parents don't even like their own fucking kids. So we start having these conversations and stuff of that nature. These are things that need to be worked out beforehand. You know, and she didn't really care for the man. She didn't care for him. And I'm pretty sure, you know, the thing about it is you do things for your children or other people's children, and it seems like it's going on deaf ears. You do all this stuff, you don't get respect as a step parent. You look out for them, you give it advice, the advice go out in one ear and out another, you know, and then it comes to a place where you beefing with the child, and then, you know, the mother is naturally going to take the child's side of the story. And it's just like, cool, like keep it moving. That's why most dudes stay away from single mothers. That's why y'all just get nothing but penetration. And that's just what it is. And, you know, and she said she made a point to say in this particular video that even if that was if that was their child together, she would take his side. And that's what it is. The truth is starting to come out. They talk long enough, they tell you the truth. So when they try to shame y'all and being step parents, it's a job that you don't want. A real father get more respect. The sister get more respect. Anybody else get more respect for you in that house. So unless they paying you to stay there, and they need to be paying you as a stepfather to be there. You shouldn't have to spend nothing. They should be paying you for your presence, your provision, your ability to put your life on the line. You know, people respect the house different when the man is there. That single mother should be paying you to be there. You shouldn't be paying for Nathan. You should live room, board free. You should have food, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight. They should be paying you to be there. This is why most of them single mothers are just booty calls. They don't deserve marriage. Like I said, they only should really realistically be able to marry the guy they had a baby with. The first baby daddy, that's the only guy they should be able to marry. I had a woman in the comment section, I did a short. What about the man? What about the man? The man didn't force you not to use contraceptive unless you was, forcefully, and that's a whole different story. Then I understand. You didn't make that man put a condom on. Y'all continue to get married to all the work or have babies by all the worst men in the world. Right? It ain't no coincidence. Or a lot of these guys ain't the worst guy in the world. Y'all just turned them into that. Y'all want to be able to control, manipulate people's reality, these men's reality. And when you can't do that anymore, then the first thing women do is use the child as a pawn. The system got your back on that, but yeah, it's a sucker. It's a sucker play. Respectfully, it's a sucker play. In my opinion, it's a sucker play. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is what you're dealing with. After 10 years, he had enough. They be knowing their kids be disrespectful. They be seeing the shit that they kids do, talking smart, and you can't do nothing about it. And if you do something about it, everybody look at you like you the problem. You can't tell them not to do this. But then again, when they want to be dropped off or they need some money or they need some clothes or they need you to do something for them and you do it, like I said, you do it, you just doing fucking philanthropy. For no respect. You do the shit for them and then they turn on you. You ask them to clean up around out there. It's just to the point they made their decision and they got to live with it. Only thing we can do is DoorDash some dick. That's it. That's it. That's it. And then when you be listening to the stories of why they left their baby father, it makes no sense. And they be bitter. They be bitter. They still be sleeping with them. They are some of the most disingenuous people. I should put a lot of single mothers up there with strippers, prostitutes, thieves, liars. They just some of the worst people you would encounter. They most 9 times out of 10, they're horrible people. You come across some good ones that, if that was a wife, that's different. And they had their kids and they was married by the mother, the father, that's a different story. But just these ones, I like, nah, bro. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. You wanted to do it yourself. You had help, and she gonna regret that. Instead of teaching your child to have more respect, the child feed off the respect that woman have for that man. So if the mother don't respect that man, she talk to him crazy, she do what she want to do, the children gonna follow suit. Simple as that. The simple gonna follow suit. You can't stand my son, and well, go ahead. There you go. Bye. I bet she still gonna want something from him from the divorce. Don't do it, bro. That's one of the worst decisions you can ever make. Don't do it. Don't save them. Save, keep your money and resources yourself. Don't save them. God come and send them a raft, send them safety, and they still pop the raft and want to drown. Allow them to drown. Allow them to drown. Don't save them. I respectfully don't save them, bro. Don't save them. Don't save them. That's my whole, don't save them. They didn't respect their bodies. They didn't respect having children enough to make the children with the right guy. They ain't respect nothing. It wasn't no mistake. It's calculated when you get pregnant. That shit is calculated. And then most of them still be sleeping with the dude or still creeping with another dude. They don't deserve your leadership, bro. They don't deserve your resources. Them children, they be disrespectful. They don't respect authority. They don't respect nothing. They don't respect nothing to nobody. Fuck it. They a pump and dump. That's it. They a weekend freak. They a skeet and get out. And you notice that a lot of times you dealing with a lot of women, when you clap them up and kick them out, they tend to respect you more. Now, I'm not talking about girlfriend. This women you meet, when you clap and say you got to go, they respect and they come back. They respond to some of the most negative and harsh behavior. They respond to the most negative and harsh. That's how you can spot an ain't shit bitch. When you treat them like shit and they respond to it, and you see it online a lot. You can clearly see this dude, who don't really care for a particular set of women, and then women to be in the comment section, flocking to the video, flocking to the comment, whatever they say, if it was negative, but they there. A negative message attracts what? Them type of fucking people. So if you see all these people always in the comment section and they don't agree, they like negativity. But that's all I had to say on it, man. Crazy. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.